Welcome to Amplify Love Podcast. My name is Natalia Love Angelou. I empower women to own their superpowers and transform their mindsets so they can experience more confidence, clarity, and live their dream life. Hello and welcome back. So today's topic is going to be about embracing your intuition. We all have intuition. We have to pay attention within. Remember that we have the power to access so much more than when we realize. And sometimes we'll get intuitive downloads or uploads through number sequences, through music, through TV shows, through conversations with someone. Just remember, ask and you shall receive. That's one of the laws of the universe. When you ask for guidance, you will receive the answers. And sometimes it comes in your dreams, in your sleep. Sometimes you may go to bed with some confusion and wake up with more clarity. So when we talk about intuition, I'm talking about paying attention within and gaining access to information that is a way of not knowing how you would get the information. It's not like, hey, reading a book and learning a skill and there you go. Now you know how to build or do that special skill that you learned through a book. Intuition is not like that. Intuition is not something you could just read in a book. It's something you participate in. It's something you explore, something you play with, something that comes to you naturally because it is your birthright. We're born intuitive. We're born with all the capacity to have this wisdom and information that's unexplained. So information that's not just found in things, it is in your physical, mental, spiritual, emotional bodies. You receive it in certain ways and it's like, wow, how did I know this? It just happened. That's when you know it's coming from your intuition, not from your mind, the ego mind. It's A plus B equals C because that's just the way it is. I learned this is how it is. No, intuition is coming from your heart. This is what I know to be my truth because I trust myself wholeheartedly and I know that this is what I want. This is what I desire. I trust what I see. I trust what I feel. I trust what I smell. I trust what I taste. I trust my inner knowingness. So for today's episode, I'm going to talk about the four main clairs: clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and claircognizance. So the first one is clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is when you see things. You see colors or images, or you can see aura, and sometimes you can see with your physical eyes, like an aura around the person, or sometimes you see it with your eyes closed because it's your intuitive eyes, which is your third eye, which is how I receive my information. So when my clients come to me and I'm doing a healing session on them, I ask my higher self, what does she need to hear? What does he need to hear? What do they need to hear at this moment in time? And then I will receive images. And sometimes for me, I just trust everything. It may not make sense, but I just say it anyway because I trust myself. And that's something you have to develop, is trust. When you start trusting yourself, you'll be able to fine tune your intuition. You'll be able to really harness it, believe it, feel it, know it, and trust. Trust that the information you receive is exactly how it's meant to be received at this moment in time. And there's always moment for growth. There's always moment for, learning and fine-tuning and believing. And sometimes things may happen and you don't know the answer right away, but later on you'll find the answers, like, oh, this is what that meant. So just trust the process. Let go of judgment. Let go of fear. When you let go of the fear and judgment, you can start embracing your true, authentic self. So clairvoyance is seeing color, seeing images, seeing things internally or externally, and trust in that. So So I had an example with a client when she came. She came for a healing session, for a Reiki session, and a Rise session. Rise is my new modality that I created, which is called Reclaim and Integrate Sacred Energies, which combines my years or decades, I should say, of expertise of subconscious reprogramming through hypnosis and Reiki. And I combine it together by call upon the archangels and goddesses. So it's a celestial frequency that I channel and use sacred geometry and use activational words. And I take someone on a guided journey with the Reiki energy plus the Rise energy and take them into a deeper trance state. And they love it. And I always record sessions for them. So this one client, she was going through some guilt, and I was tuning into her energy body, and I was asking the universe, what message does she need to hear? And I heard clearly that this guilt is not her guilt. This guilt comes from her ancestors. And it was like I was like watching a movie, and I saw an elder, and I saw the elder have a child, and I saw that child die, and then number 2 popped up. So I just am the translator, the interpreter of sacred symbols. And then I said to her, well, what I see or what I feel, what I'm hearing is that this guilt is coming from your ancestor, from like a generational thing. And it's either your grandmother or your great grandmother, but it's from your mother's side. And someone lost a child at 2 years old. And that guilt feeling is because their mother felt like, she couldn't love the other kids as much, and then she was in so much pain from losing the child, and all that guilt of losing the child is coming down her cellular memory into this lifetime. So it is not your guilt, what you're feeling right now, but it's from an ancestor. And lo and behold, I just trusted myself. I could have been like, where is this coming from? I can't say this stuff. This doesn't make any sense. This is a new client. How dare I say these things? Who do I think I am saying this stuff? But I trusted. I interpreted the images. I said the child was 2 years old because I saw the number 2. I saw the elder, and I saw a female. So I just put 2 to 2 together. And lo and behold, she went home. She asked her mother if her family has ever lost a child, someone in her side. And the mother said, yeah, actually my mother did. My mother lost a child at 2 years old. So this client is now a regular, and she is like amazed. And I am just sharing this testimony. I'm allowed to, because I'm not giving you the person's name. But that's an example of clairvoyance, of trusting the images I see. So if you ever receive images, start writing them down, write in a journal, and, start speaking up. If you feel safe, if you feel comfortable, start practicing, playing with someone. Say, hey, you know what? Let's play with our intuition. Let's see if we can, meditate and, ask me a question. I'm going to see if I see something to get the answer. And then you can just keep on practicing, because the more you practice, the more easier it is for you to receive the information. It's kind of like when, we're born with it, right? So you could be born with art skill or piano skill. You could be born with so many different creativity outlets of expressing yourself. So for example, you could be born with just listening to music, and then you know how to play the piano easily without learning how to read it. But with practice, with fine-tuning it, with dedication, and hey, every day I want to learn a new song, every day I want to play more piano, you could become an amazing pianist versus, someone who just knows how to play one song. So when you start, playing with intuition, the more you ask your guides and helpers for assistance, or the more you trust yourself, the more you play and make space for it, journal, meditate, and, say your intention. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. And then you follow through with it, the more information you will receive. So every time I'm going to work with a client, I always create a sacred container where I clear I have this beautiful mist I mix with some water and Florida water and rose oil, and I spray it on my client, and I call the directions and the archangels and the goddesses and the Reiki guides and masters, and then I do the healing, sacred symbols, and I trust, I surrender, I let go of the mind and drop into my heart and my higher self, and then that's when the magic unfolds. We all have the capacity to enter that magic, that portal of light, of love, of divine miracles where things just happen, because it is your birthright to receive miracles. It is your birthright to receive your divine energies that you're asking for. Like if you're asking for more confidence, it's your birthright to receive the confidence. If you're asking for more intuition, it's your birthright to receive the intuition. If you're asking for more creativity, it is your birthright to receive the more creativity. If you're asking for more abundance, it is your birthright to receive more abundance. Okay, so now the second clair is clairsentience. Clairsentience is receiving from your feelings and emotions, or even body sensations. So if you notice that, for example, you're around someone and they may be sad, and you just start feeling this emotions of sadness, then that means you're an empath, and you're clairsentience. So a lot of the people are clairsentience and they don't know it. So they may be feeling like their emotions that they feel from others is their own emotions. And if you feel that, hey, I have this unexplained feeling of sadness or anger or frustrations, or feelings that are not usually yours, stop, ask yourself, where does this come from? Clear yourself. Use your visualization of putting this beautiful sacred protective shield around you, or you can use smudging such as sage or cedar, or use Palo Santo or Florida water, or whatever you feel called to, crystals and so on. And ground yourself, put your feet in the earth, visualize the roots growing out of your feet into the earth, and really paying attention. You can support others, but you can also detach. So you could be a clear vessel, because you are not responsible for other people's, emotions. If you feel other people's pain, know that it's not your own, and you can support by giving love, prayers, blessings, or your hand in supporting them. If people come to you and they're in need, you can give them your time, your love, your dedication, your energy, or whatever it is that you desire to support the person with. So clairsentience is that inner feeling, that inner nudge. So I have an example of clairsentience for myself. So one day I was performing a wedding, and I'm very confident, and I can talk in front of 200 people easily. I've been doing weddings for many, many years, and I'm not shy. I used to be shy as a child and as a teenager and even my early 20s, but I do what I do now because I helped myself, and once I helped myself, I realized, whoa, this stuff is amazing. Let me help other people. So I learned hypnotherapy to help myself gain confidence and let go of my wounds and my insecurities and my fears and so on. And once I was able to help myself, I decided to, offer it to my community. So I was performing a wedding, and my client, I didn't know at that time, but the bride, she was so anxious that she was shaking, but I didn't see it because, when you shake internally, and then after the ceremony, she ran to the bathroom and puked. So that's how I knew, because she told me afterwards that she had so much anxiety, she was shaking, and she had to puke. But I didn't know it. So there I am at the altar, and I'm performing this wedding, and all of a sudden, my body, like internally, I'm shaking. I was like, I'm physically shaking. Like, why am I shaking so much? And I felt this anxiety, and I'm like, this is not me. I perform weddings all the time. I'm not anxious. where is this coming from? And I knew, oh, it's from the couple. So I stepped back. And once I stepped back, and then I put this beautiful bubble around me, and it's all like in your mind. When you imagine it to be so, it is so. I like to say that imagination is the key to the spirit world, to the unknown, to the other side. Anyways, and then it was fine for me. The shakes left once I, put the energy around me and like stepped back. So that's an example of clairsentience. I felt her emotions. I detached from it. I was a clear vessel. I knew it was not my own. And I held space. And I performed a beautiful ceremony. And it was fantastic. And after she got out of the bathroom, she felt much better. And these things happen sometimes. So I know if you're new to this podcast or new to intuition or new to me in general, you'd be like, what is this person talking about? Just know that I am a metaphysical practitioner, a metaphysical minister. Metaphysical means beyond the physical. So this is going to be a podcast with things that are beyond the physical topics. So yeah, it makes sense that I'm going to talk about intuition in one of the few first episodes because it's something that I really pay attention to in my daily life. Okay, now the next Clair is Clairaudience. So this is when you can hear information. It's like you can hear whispers in your inner mind, or you can hear like words or voices or music in your mind. It's kind of like listening to a radio station and you just get an inner nudge, like a conversation that you just know, hey, don't go there. You may hear an inner dialogue. So this is like, you may hear someone call your name and you turn and then you see something that you're supposed to see. Or, like whispers, like mediums, they're very clairaudience. So you can go to a medium and say you want to talk to your ancestor, and they will have full conversations with them, and they will be able to give you so much information. And this is a gift, and this is their gift. So I don't really have much clairaudience. I think it's because when I was a child, I heard things before and I saw things before, and I had developed this huge phobia of the dark and the unknown. So I kind of put a boundary like, no thanks, universe, I don't want to hear it like this. I don't want to see it like this. If I want to receive information from the other side, I like it in a way that makes me feel comfortable and safe. And guess what? You can actually put boundaries with the other side. You can say, hey, no thanks. I don't want to see you pop up when I just come out of the shower or when I'm about to make love with my husband. I don't want to see you come into my room and do your talking because I'm closed for business right now. No, thank you. This is my intimate moment and I'm not open for having a conversation with you. Or, hey, you know what, Spirit? Can you please come to me in gentle ways that will make me feel comfortable? Like, so for me, I said, yeah, come to me like in a way that I can understand, like through images and signs and colors and those things, like clairvoyance. But, don't just pop out of the corner and when I'm walking my dog, unless I'm open for it and I call it and I do invoke spirit all the time. I'm out for my walks in nature and I'm connecting to the trees and the elements because I believe that everything is energy and Mother Nature nurtures our soul. The elements really do help us intuitively enhance and connect and guide us for our, living our true purpose, basically. So feel what sits well with your heart because we are all different. You may love to practice clairaudience because it just brings you so much joy and it's like excitement, and like I have friends who are mediums and they're amazing and they can connect and they can talk and it's wonderful. So you can enhance anything you desire. Every single being is unique and different, and we can have all these clairs or we can have one or two, but know that you have the capacity to have so many information given to you. All you have to do is trust yourself and connect and really, really start allowing things to flow. Okay, and now the next one is claircognizance. So this is like a knowing. So it's just an inner, I know this is right. I know this is what I should do. Without any kind of explanation logically, it's just an inner knowing. So I have an example of this as well. In June 13, 2003, I was driving on this small country road. It was midnight. I left the job. And this is the kind of awakening for me because I was learning Reiki, but I was young and my family's like, you got to get a real job. So I started working for a hotel and I was nervous. I didn't want to work late shifts and I had a baby at home. My mother was watching her and it was midnight and I was like, driving at 110 kilometers in this country road, and it's one of those country roads that's just ditch on both sides. So it was like one lane going left, like one lane going up and down basically. So it was like two lanes and that was it, and then ditching both sides. So I'm there connecting, having a conversation with my team, and I heard like an inner knowing, like, oh, slow down just in case you get any accident, you don't want to get hurt. So I was like, oh, let me turn off my music and let me slow right down. So I went from like 110 to like 70 kilometers, and literally less than 4 minutes later, this is no joke, I have police like documents of this. Like, this is just something that really helped me become who I am. Like, there's so many different things was those turning points in your life that that, okay, this was something that the universe created for me so I could step into my power fully. So there I am. I slowed down to 70 kilometers, and less than 4 minutes later, I noticed two people on my left waving their hands. And as soon as I looked at them and I looked straight ahead, there was a gray station wagon blocking my lane. So if you can imagine, like, the station wagon is horizontally in the road, so I couldn't go around it because it was ditch and it was gray, and they did not turn on the hazard lights. So what happened was they were coming from the opposite direction and they hit a deer, and then the car spun and then it was smoking. So they got scared thinking it's going to explode, so they ran to the side of the road. They should have turned on the hazard lights, but they didn't. So I did not see it until I was like less than 20 feet away, where it was like, okay, I'm gonna hit the car. There's no way to not hit the car. I'm going 70 kilometers an hour and the car's there blocking my lane. So intuitively I heard turn left, so I turned completely to my left. It was all of my inner knowing though, because it wasn't like hearing, but it was like an inner knowing, turn left. Anyways, so I turned completely left and my whole passenger side smashed into the car. And all the windows shattered, the front windows, the side windows, and I had the whiplash. And all I remember is coming out of the car, looking up in the sky, and there's so many stars, saying, thank you, God, thank you, universe, for protecting me, for warning me, for slowing down. Then the paramedics came, and the police came, and I was like, I just felt so much gratitude that I got, my intuition warned me and I listened. And at that time I was shocked as well. And I was saying to the police, oh no, I'm going to get in trouble because I ruined my mother's car. And the police is like, your mother is going to be grateful that you are alive. If you were going any faster, you would have hit the car full on, like head first, and you would have died on impact. Like, that's how big this is. You are lucky to be alive. Don't worry about the car. You have your life. And the paramedics came, they looked at me, and they checked my neck, they checked everything. I had a whiplash, but no broken bones or anything like that. And they're like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, oh, yes. I'm just, thanking God and looking up in the stars and, like, so grateful for my life. And they're like, are you sure you don't want to come to the hospital? So there's a mystic in the making, right? Anyways, and then I took that as a sign from the universe that, oh, I am supposed to be the healer that I knew I was meant to be. And I'm not supposed to work for a corporation. I'm not supposed to go and do something I don't want to do. I had to devote my time into my business. And then that gave me like a whole year of receiving massage, physio, and so on. So at that time, I also received some financial abundance, and it helped me to study hypnosis and became a Reiki master and so on. And that is how it started. I listened to my intuition, and I just never worked again for someone else except for being my own boss. So yeah, I've been in this holistic field for 20 years now. And it's because I knew my calling at a young age. I continuously connected with the universe, asking, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? And that's when I heard you're a healer, and I Googled being a healer. And that's when I saw Reiki, and Reiki was my gateway to spirituality. And then I studied hypnosis and life coach and metaphysical ministry and metaphysical practitioner. And I started doing goddess circles and so on. So there's a little bit of my personal journey. And yeah, we all have a story, right? So the knowing that this is just my path is claircognizance. So those are the 4 clairs. So as you see, I gave you a few examples of some of them in my life. And we all have the capacity to have all this divine messages through all these different avenues. Sometimes you may have them in one more than another. I'm more clairvoyance, and then clairsentience, then claircognizance, and then clairaudience. So you might have more clairaudience, and then clairsentience, and then clairvoyance. But the biggest thing is, do not judge yourself. Do not judge yourself thinking, oh, you know what? I'm not that in tune because I'm not like A and B. I'm not like Natalia. So since I'm not like Natalia, I must not be doing it right because I don't see things like that, or I don't hear things like that. I don't feel things like that. No. Comparing is like the kryptonite for our divine essence. You know, I'm a big superhero fan. And yeah, I got to reference Superman. Kryptonite. And that was that thing that made him weak. So come on now. Do not let comparison be your kryptonite. Do not compare yourself with the people that you see that's a few steps ahead of you, or someone online, or a friend, or a guru, or a teacher, or a leader. Whenever I teach any classes, I tell them they can do what I can do. And that, you know, like, don't put me on the pedestal. And I empower them to trust themselves. And I'm here to empower you to trust yourselves. And we all have greatness within. We all have the capacity to channel divine wisdom. We all have the capacity to connect. Remember to ask and you will receive. Say something like, please assist me in channeling more intuition to receive more clarity. Please assist me with, trusting myself more. Assist me in a gentle, loving way to receive more divine uploads and downloads so I can live my truest form. Help me let go of my fear and ego so I can trust myself wholeheartedly. Whatever it is you desire, connect to that oneness we all have. If I say God, the universe, source, maker of all things, creator, goddess, source, power, the one, whatever I say, you can change it. You make it your own. You interpret it your way. You change it to words that make you feel good. And take what you like and leave the rest behind. Just because someone says something doesn't mean it has to be 100% true. It could be my truth. This is my story. This is my expressive outlet. But doesn't mean it has to be your truth and your way of doing anything. So I love to share. I love to inspire. I love to motivate. But I also like to help you realize that you have all the answers within. So even when I do tarot cards for others, and when I first learned tarot, I was so scared. I was like, oh no, this is evil. I can't do this stuff. This is going to be so bad. All my religion upbringing taught me to fear the unknown. I had a phobia of the unknown. And of the dark and so on. And I had to heal all that. So when I started learning tarot, I learned it by two different teachers and with my own intuition, just trusting more. But I asked my one teacher, I asked her, how do you get rid of the fear of thinking that this has evil energy because of my religious programming? I know it doesn't, but I still have that stupid ego that's saying those things to me. And she said something so beautiful. She said, it's just an art gallery in a box. That's all it is. There's no entity that's living in that art gallery. There's no, bad spirit living in that art gallery. Everyone has their own intention, and your intention is pure light. And when you connect to that pure light, your own intention, knowing that this is just an art gallery, you're the interpreter, and you connect to your heart. You always put a protective shield around you, and you pray, and you put the intentions out there, and then you ground yourself, and you say, okay, I'm pulling this card because I want more ABC, and then you pull the cards, and you always get the right ones for you. You trust it. It's just images in the box, the symbolism, and you're the interpreter of the symbols, and you trust it. So if you see something, and this is what it means to you, you trust yourself more than you trust the words that you see for the description. So trust yourself first. And when she said that, when she said the art gallery in a box, that really lit up my heart. And I really realized that, oh my goodness, I don't have to have this fear. I don't have to have fear holding me back, because guess what? Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. And why do I need to have this fear, this illusion? No, thank you. And I started jumping into my intuitive, tarot exploration, oracle exploration, and I love doing it. And anytime a client comes to me for that, I always empower them. I don't like that neediness of, oh my God, I need to go to you for answers. Please save me. The desperation, because there's a lot of people who give their power away, and they think that, I'm going to be the one that saves them, and I have all the answers, or somebody else they put up in a pedestal, only this person can help me, and so on. I do not like that. I don't like the neediness, the codependency that, I need to give someone the right answers, and if I don't say what they want, that's devastating. And, someone can't make a decision unless they consult me. No, thank you. I'm not open for codependent relationships, and I'm not open to have someone to be my little infant baby in that capacity. No. If someone comes to me, I tell them, this is one avenue, that this could be a possibility, but you're the master of your reality. This is just one timeline, but you can choose another direction. You can choose any different timeline that you want, because you are the true master. You're the one who's making the intentions to create your future. So I'm the interpreter of these images. I will tell you what I feel, or what I see, or what I just have the knowledge of, expressing through those cards. But you are the one who's 100% responsible for your reality, and you can choose to accept these things, or you don't have to, and you can change it. Because I had readings before, back in the day when I was young, and then I was like, is this guy my soulmate? I was like, no, he's not your soulmate. But guess what? 20 years later, like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't listen. I didn't believe them. I didn't believe, that person said that he's not my soulmate. I listened to my intuition, my heart, because I predicted him when I was 15, and I met him when I was 17. So there you have it. I trusted myself before I trusted someone else. So when people come to me, I always say that to them. Trust yourself first, and believe that. We all are connected to this beautiful universe through this beautiful heartstrings, this web of love and light. And when you trust yourself, you will get the clarity that you seek. And yes, you may be guided to come to me, you may be guided to go to someone else, and the way I express something is something you may desire and connect with. Or you could go to someone else, and that's what you need at that time. So it's always what you need at the time, and you get to decide how much value you put into it, how much you believe in it, and what it means, so it can have an impact in your life, right? But know that you truly are the master. You truly are the alchemist of your reality. So thank you so much for being here, for listening, for sharing. Yes, I really appreciate it when you share with your family, when you can share this on social media, and follow me on Instagram at The Real Natalia Love Angelou, and follow me online at www.natalialoveangelou.com. reach out to me if you like to have any of my services. I do offer many different services to support your needs. And I'm here as a tool because you're the one who does the work. You're the one who does the healing. I create the sacred container so it can unfold. And then you're the one who decides, yes, please, I desire this, or no, thank you, not this moment in time. But I appreciate you. I see you. I thank you. And also comment and rate me. And there's those tools here when you're wherever you listen to this. You can rate it, you can share it, you could comment on my social media. I really love those things. It really brings me joy. And also, if you have any questions, ask me some questions. Or if you want me to talk about something else, say, hey, Natalia, I just heard this. And can you please explain this or talk about this? And I would love to answer those questions. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, have a wonderful day. Sending you so much love. Bye-bye.